What's up, everybody? I just want to talk about some of my experiences that I'm going through, and how I'm like overcoming them and stuff. Recently, well, I spend pretty much all day getting like harassed by an entity that keeps presenting itself as Maharaji, and which is like supposedly this Indian guru. But I don't know. It likes to flip back and forth between a demon and between. Okay, it's done. But it's done between a demon and Maharaji, like over and over and over and over and over. Shut up. Oh, people know this about me is right. Over and 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 over. It was really annoying. And yeah, I mean, I deal with that and like constantly getting harassed and like taught all these like fucking moral lessons is like no one gives a fuck about because it's like it's coming from a psychopathic mind. So I don't know how much time I want to spend on talking about it, but that was enough. But I guess I'd like to talk about like the kind of life I'm trying to create, and I'd like to talk about how I'd like to be helping people. I haven't made a lot of content recently that I would like to be making, but I do have a nice content setup here. I've been looking kind of down, and I really want to help people get to a point where they're really happy about what they're doing with their life. And I guess I'm messing with this a lot, messing with this little Kuan Yin statuette that I have, necklace. And I really want to get to the point where I'm helping people a lot to live the most fulfilling lives possible, and to help the world to do so as well in conjunction. And I'm really inspired to do this. I think the nice thing about this is that I just feel like there's like a lot of potential for people to live much better lives than they're living, and to really be brightening up the world with like the light of who they are. It'd be fun if I was in front of someone, and then I could help them with what I'm trying to do. But it's really been feeling like I can't do that because I've been getting so socially isolated by this entity that presents itself as Maharaji or Neem Karoli Baba. It's always not wanting me to like record these videos and like threatening to kill me all the time if I do it. But it was threatening to kill me before I did it. So, it kind of feels like I need to be in front of people to be able to do this. It feels like I need to be it feels like I need to be in front of people. It feels like I need to be in front of someone so I can have like a natural interaction or help to like kind of light them up and like guide them on their way. It's tough because even right now, like the entity is like really dissociating me and blanking my mind out. Some scary noises from like whatever the closet is behind me or behind the camera. But it should be fine. Yeah, I mean, it's like really blanking my mind out and making it hard for me to think and talk and stuff. I really want to make these videos like really good. And I'm having trouble because I'd like to be talking about my experiences, but because you can't. But it's making it hard. Shut up about that. But it's making it hard. As you can hear, it's like talking through me, and I really don't want it to be talking through me. It's like always acting demonic and stuff, or being demonic, you know. Not that I really want to get into that right now, but I'd also like to talk about like what inspires me to talk about. I don't know. I guess a good thing to talk about is kind of like an absurdist, like kind of fatalism, where it's like feeling like what you're gonna do isn't working at all, but it's like you're just like giving yourself to this absurdism that like if you just like keep doing it, it's gonna start working and keep working. And that's just how I feel about my my mission on the earth, like how I want to help people. I know when Mr. Beast, like first started making videos. I mean, he didn't make any popular videos for like many, many years, and he got really, really low view counts. And from what I gathered, he was like really awkward about it, and felt really bad a lot with like a disease he was having and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of doing this just because I think if I keep going, it's going to become the way that I want it to. At least the maximum way that it could become the way I want it to, which is exactly what I do want. And so I wish I could make this more interesting, to be honest. There's so much filtering going on in my mind from that entity. It's making it hard to think. But I guess I could talk more about the absurdist fatalism. There's like a certain kind of like confidence that you start to get. I guess you could say I don't give a fuck. And like the I don't give a fuck goes like both ways. It's like you identify like what you want in life mostly, and then like how you're going to accomplish that. Like what is your recurrent practice that's going to accomplish that? For instance, like I want to get really good at like talking to people and women out in public, because like I just really desire that feeling of like charismatic, emotional, like social freedom to make friends wherever I go, and to like attract all the women that I really like, and just be in like this like really healthy social state of mind like all the time. And so frequently when I go out, I feel like super anxious, and like caught in my head. And I know it's normal. I mean, especially if you go out like sober by yourself, like even that on its own can be really difficult to go do, and a feat in and of itself for a lot of people. And I've gotten to the point to where I can pretty much do it consistently, like twice a week on average, probably. I try to go 3 times, but and it's interesting because you start to get to this point to where it's like this anxiety of like not enoughness, or it's not going to work. Like once you start going over and over again, and like showing up to something that causes you anxiety, like it starts to like, it's almost like, it's like, oh, this isn't going to work. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, this doesn't feel good. Oh, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, like I feel bad when I'm doing this more than I feel good. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like going to the gym too. Like if you're like obese and out of shape, and you start going to the gym, and it feels just impossible. It feels almost impossible to go to the gym. A lot of fat people I've heard like are afraid to even go to the gym because they're afraid of people judging them. And I think in a similar way, like going out and trying to socialize like at bars or parties, wherever there's like pretty women and cool people, it's really hard for a lot of people, because that's a real skill set to be able to just talk to anyone you want in like an enthusiastic way, whether you're attracted to them or not, and just kind of like love on everybody and stuff. But it's interesting. It's like I had this shift of mind like in the beginning of the year where for years, like my entire 20s, I had started, and I'm 33 now at the filming of this video, and through my entire 20s, I would always go through these periods where I would like try to start up a habit, and then I would like kind of like fall off of it, start up a habit and fall off of it. It happened with like working out and going out and talking to women, and I can't remember. I think there was other things that had happened too. Maybe like changing my diet, going to like classes at community colleges that I thought were cool, and like starting art kind of. And I would go through a lot of these periods where I would start to do these things, like gratitude practices, things like that, and it would get to the point to where, I hate that philosophy, one thing or the other. I would get to, and it would, no! And it would get to the point to where, pardon me for the outburst, it's the entity that presents itself as Maharaji. It's like always screaming through me. I don't know whether it is him actually or not. I would assume that it is, because he presents himself like that a lot, with that identity. But I don't know, 100%. So anyways, I don't want to talk about it too much, but so what I learned is like I would like start and stop these habits, and I'd feel bad, and I'd be like, well, if I have to keep up the streak, and if I don't keep up the streak, then like I've fallen off of it and I start to focus on other things. But I had this epiphany in like the beginning of last year or the middle of last year, and around June, and it was like, oh wait, it like finally clicked, like this time the things that are important to me that I really want to do in my life, that I feel like I've failed at a whole bunch of times and I've been made to feel like I'm never going to be successful at it over and over again, this time I'm just not going to stop. I'm just not going to stop. And I realized like I'm not going to stop because I'm not going to stop because this time I've committed to pretty much like every day for the rest of my life creating an ideal schedule for my day, and really for my week, but I haven't been on that. But at least for my day is like the base practice. And if I do this over and over and over and over and over again, what ends up happening is that like it's not possible really for me to not do the things that are most important to me, because the practice is literally spending the available time that I have every day to do the things that are most important to me and decide what those are and then do them as best as I can in a way in which kind of like honors my limitations and like where I'm at. You know, sometimes you're like getting pummeled by life and unexpected things happen, or you get sick, or you get really stressed out, or you like face homelessness or something, which I've done. And sometimes you, and then sometimes it's easier and you have less to do, you got money in the bank, and then you lose a job, but actually it was fortuitous, and you get a lot of money, and you get money anyways, and so then you have more free time. But it's like, and so sometimes you can do more and sometimes you can do less. And then it's like helpful to know, like, you know, what's the bare minimum that you can be consistent at developing a skill and still get better. You know, like with working out, you know, you don't start losing muscle until 2 weeks after your last like strength training session, as long as you're eating enough, right? And so it's like, if you don't go to the gym 3 times a week and then you go to the gym once a week, and that's all you do, you actually will keep all your gains and you can still actually get stronger doing that. Funny enough, you won't get as strong as fast, but you'll still keep your forward momentum, and you won't go through the ups and downs of starting and stopping, making progress and losing progress. You'll just make some progress and kind of like slow it down, and then make some progress and slow it down. And what I've learned is that if you keep pushing at it over and over and over again, sometimes you do the thing that you want to do 5 times a week, once a week, but you planned to do it more than that, and you tried your best, and you at least thought about it, and then you went through a lot of emotional difficulties or spiritual difficulties, as I do with this entity. It's like always trying to get me to like not do the things that are important to me, wants to isolate me from everyone, and and not have me have any sexual relationships or relationships with women, or eat food, or drink water, or like pretty much everything that keeps you alive and healthy. It like doesn't want me to do. And so sometimes I'll go through like a lot of pressure with like this like possession experience that I've been dealing with for years, and I feel like I can't almost do anything. But what I do know that I can do, no matter how like dysfunctional my mind is I can always focus on the best thing that I could focus on, as far as like the best ways that I could spend my time, and then try my best to do my best job I can with what I chose to spend my time on. And when you start doing this practice over and over and over again, you start to realize like there's only so many things that you want to do that are the things that most fulfill you. For me, it's like doing life coaching and doing free expression and helping people that way, and also like working out and like having sex and having fun with women and flirting with women and making cool friends who are doing cool things and having like novel experiences, and then like music and like art and dancing and stuff like that. And so and like there's not really that many things that someone needs to do in order to have like a life that's like really fulfilling for them. And so I do that. So I find that as long as I'm intentional and I do that scheduling practice every single day, that it gets to the point to where you stop talking. It gets to the point, I'm done with this. It gets to the point to where I'm just going to edit this out. Shut up. And so, if you keep intentionally scheduling your day with the activities that most fulfill you and make you the happiest, even if they like stress you out to do them, like going to the gym when you're fat and you're worried about social anxiety, and doing the same thing with going out to bars and talking to women when you have social anxiety, and working on creative projects aligned with like your purpose and how you'd like to give your gifts to the world that make you feel like really stressed out and depleted to like show up to. But you just start to learn that if you just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again, eventually you will just start to get better at those things. And then the things that are most important to you start to bring you like the most fulfillment and the most joy in your life, actually. When you're working out, it takes a while to get in shape to where it starts to feel good like while you're working out and after you're working out. And in the same way, going out and talking to women, it can feel good. It can feel hard to go do that, but then once you do it for a while, it can start to feel easier, and now it's something that like really adds to your life. Because again, you've gotten it past that initial barrier of entry. And the same thing with like eating healthy food, and having partnerships with women, sexual, or like with regards to your mother, if you have difficulties or whatever, like I have, and so you start to learn that like if you just keep doing it, even if you like do it less than you wanted to do it. You don't do it 3 times a week, you do it once a week, but you tried, and then you did your scheduling practice every day, and you tried your best to show up to the things that are important to you. If you keep doing that over and over and over again, Well, you're literally training your mind to only spend your time thinking about the best things that you could be doing, and then doing the best things that you could be doing. And then eventually that stops being hard, and it starts being something that's like a really fulfilling path that gives you a lot of like joy and excitement in life. But it can take a while to like get the fucking rust out. With regards to like the rust that's all up in the cogs and stuff of the mind. And like get the train moving. It takes a lot of force and power at the beginning of getting a train rolling to get it rolling. But once you get it rolling and you have the momentum in each of these areas of your life, like your life just starts to get like a lot better, because it starts being rounded out, and you're like literally spending your time only doing the things that meet your needs the most in the ways that are like most practical and most predictable. And so that becomes pretty cool. So I've been learning that, and it's been a slow slog, because I've been doing mine while I've been like demonically possessed and like getting tortured to the point to where like I'm like asking Jesus to fucking like do me in and like take me to the other side, like kill me before I stay possessed like this for much longer, because like it makes life not worth living. And then even on top of that, like while that's happening and I'm getting brainwashed by like this like entity, and it's like constantly telling me things it wants me to do and it wants me to be its teacher or whatever. And it just gets to the point to where and it just gets to the point to where it's like it doesn't even matter. Even with something that difficult, you can still show up over and over and over again to the thing that's most important to you. And what I kind of find is like, it just seems like God rewards those who just keep showing up to the same thing and trying to get better at it over and over and over and over and over again. And so it's strange. You start to get into this like absurdist fatalism where it's like, this feels like it's never going to work. But if I just keep showing up, and then on top of showing up, you know, find the systems of action steps that other people have taken in order to get the success that you want, and then just practice those whenever you show up to what you've planned on doing for that day and in your ideal week, over and over and over again, like you're just going to start getting better. And so it's almost like you like start giving up on hopelessness in a way. It's like, I was like, well, how is hopelessness going to help me? One of the good things I did get from being demonically tortured for so long is it like sat there and like drilled down on my negative emotions for so long that that it just made me get to this absurdist place where it was like, okay, I feel bad, like it doesn't matter, and I'm just going to do what's most important to me anyways. And even if it kills me, assuming that I can't stop it from killing me by fighting it or whatever, even if it kills me, like I'm just going to stay in like a life generative mindset like my whole life, keeping my mind on what makes me hopeful, what makes me feel idealistic and excited about the future, and then work on that over and over and over again. And you know, that's something that that's something, no, and that, you're pissing me off. And that's something, oh, I'm a demon and stop. And that's something that, oh, damn it, I don't want this out on the internet. And that's something that I rebuke you in Jesus' name. So if I do leave that in the video, yeah, it's the demon getting pissed off because it doesn't want me to do good things. Specifically, it seems like it doesn't want me like filming, talking about my experiences with it, but I don't care, I'm going to do it anyways. Because it just thrives on unhappiness. I don't care. So I've gotten to this place of like fatalism, like absurdist kind of like fatalism, where it's just like, even if I die from like being demon possessed or something bad happening or my health is failing or I don't feel good or anything like that, like as long as I like get enough rest pretty much, and even if I don't get enough rest, eventually like I'll lay down and relax for a while, I'll get enough rest, and then with the energy that I do have to be awake, I'll spend it on the things that are most important to me, and it'll just like get rid of like all of the attachments that I have to like, or the resistances that I have that are coming from me or from, you know, demonic spirits that attach to the body and the mind and the psyche. And it just gets to this point to where it's like, life is good, and and I'm accomplishing all the things that I want to accomplish, and it doesn't even matter anymore if if like I'm doing a good job or not. It just matters if I'm showing up and I'm like just trying. And so I don't know. It's really funny how you can build a lot of like social confidence, and so it gets to this point to where it's like absurdist nihilism is like not giving a fuck, you know. But it's like also not giving a fuck about not giving a fuck, so that you're confident in the way that you don't give a fuck. It's like I both don't give a fuck, and also I care so greatly that I'm willing to not give a fuck at all so that I can accomplish the thing that on an even deeper level is the thing I care about the most. And it's interesting. It's like, you know, when I was younger, I thought the idea of like not giving a fuck whenever I would like talk to a woman to be attractive, I was like, well, that seems kind of shitty because isn't it better to care? But it's like, you just stop giving a fuck about the things that don't matter. And the things that don't matter are like pretty much anything that's in the way of like the life that you like truly dream of living. And that really frees you up to care about the things that do matter and care about the things that like really bring you joy. And joy. And so anyways, so that's pretty cool. Maybe I can like make a short clip out of that. That would be good. And so also, what else? Yeah, I mean, I've been going through a lot too, trying to get my business back off the ground, like helping people with this stuff, and it's been pretty difficult, just because the entity has been messing with my brain so much and making me so dissociated all the time that it's like kind of hard to focus on being consistent with like the work that I want to do. But it doesn't really matter. Just kind of keep talking and stuff and like see how that comes out. Because I just feel like my true personality is going to shine, and I'm going to be able to find my voice on camera and find my voice as far as like public speaking the more I practice this stuff. And it's so interesting. It's like you really start like buckling down to do a good job at something that you feel you have a natural talent at, and then, you know, in my experience, it's like you just start being so bad at it, which is like a common theme that people go through. It's something called the dip. You have beginner's luck. So you get a lot of progress at the beginning, especially if something is kind of like meant for you, which I say that lightly because what does meant for you mean? Because you can be bad at something and then try at it for a long time and then be better at it than anyone that you know. So meant for you, I don't really agree with, even though that does exist in the spirit realm. But from my perspective, you can't live your life like that, like saying something is meant for you or not meant for you. Just use your willpower and try your best and do what you find is important to you, whether you're good at it or not. And keep going and you'll get better. And barring like some sort of horrible experience that happens to you where your life is just completely destroyed, which does happen to people. But even then, it's like your life is destroyed and then still like intentionally like make plans and then like try your best at the things that are most important to you. And so, yeah, that's what I've been going through recently. I mean, I could talk about the demonic attack stuff a lot, and maybe it would be good to do that. I have learned a good amount from all that stuff, but I tend to really want to talk to people and get to know people and like kind of plug in and like see how I can help them be happy and excited. And so because of this, yeah, I'd like to think of what I could talk about that would help people, because like the stuff that I'm teaching and that I have taught so far in this video, it's so good, but also it's like but also it's like don't, but also it's like but also it's like stop looking at the camera, but also it's like well, how do I say it? I just feel like these lessons are so incredibly impactful, and yet like how many people are going to listen? Because it's like, I don't know, I almost feel like it's like so boring to talk about. Oh yeah, just keep doing it over and over and over and over again, and if you do bad, keep doing it. If you do good, keep doing it. If you fall off the habit, don't ever think about yourself as someone who's falling off the habit or starting on the habit. Just keep doing it over and over and over again. And you will get better at it. And just do it if you feel bad or if you feel good. If you have a day where you feel really bad and you don't do it, and then you give up on your schedule and you feel like a failure, so what? If you miss 2 weeks, so what? You're still doing it. And then you do your schedule, and then you choose what's best for you to do, and then you do it again. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a humble wisdom, you know? It's like, just do it again. And do it again, and just trust the magic behind being intentional with how you spend your time, and like making a schedule every day for the best things that you could spend your time on. Because when you do that over and over, eventually your life starts to coalesce into something like really valuable. And you start to notice that you like really want to focus on like a few things over and over again to make yourself really successful and happy. And I guess that's what I want to talk about for now. We'll see if I want to do any other video after this.